We are back, baby! Right, so let's not waste any time. I'm roughly 1 month into my cut now, and it's been an interesting ride. When you bulk for so long, you kind of forget what it's like to be hungry. And I'm hungry. So I think the best way to start this video is to kind of show off my current physique. I'm gonna have some videos on screen because it's currently the 19th when I'm recording this segment. And you know, I haven't actually hit 1 month as of this recording, but hey, my physique videos will speak for themselves. But as you can see, I haven't lost that much fat. I'm actually not too happy with my current progress right now. So I gotta make some refinements. I think I'm gonna have to cut down the calories just a little bit more, maybe like 50 to 100 calories less, just because I'm not really losing fat at the rate that I want. But I don't want to cut too aggressively though, because as we know, you cut too hard, you're gonna mess up your metabolism and you're just gonna lose muscle. Also, another thing is I went on vacation and it was also Canadian Thanksgiving. I know it's weird that we do it in October, but just go along with it. And well, as we know, Thanksgiving is the time to bulk, and that's kind of the opposite of my goals right now, which means, yeah, it did not go very well. But yeah, I definitely ate way more calories than I was supposed to, and it was also accompanied with some pumpkin pie, and that's my favorite pie. I know it's kind of weird, but pumpkin pie hits my sweet tooth like a lot of things can't, and yeah, I ate a lot. But as you can imagine, not the greatest starting month to the cut, but I'm doing my best to maintain my diet, and moving forward, I want to talk about some of my refinements that I've been making, just so I can keep on track with my calorie deficits and hopefully lose fat along the way. Okay, so back to the cut. Also, by the way, I think it just makes sense to talk about the goal of the cut in my kitchen. And also, at this point, I'm just trying to throw you off as much as I can. Let's just get to the goal of the cut. So I haven't actually talked about the specifics of this cut yet, even though it's episode 4 now, but you know what? Late is better than never. And yeah, I'm not super structured yet, as you can tell, but let's just jump straight into it. So I weighed 167 pounds when we first began this cut, and I currently weigh this much right here because I don't know how much I weigh. It's the 19th, and I'm recording this, you know, YouTube stuff. Now on a cut, or even a bulk for that matter, the scale I don't think matters that much. I think what really matters is when you take your shirt off and you go look in front of a mirror. I think that means more than anything, especially on a cut, because you're trying to measure your body fat. But here's the thing, if you're maintaining your muscle or even possibly gaining muscle and you're losing fat at the same time, the scale is not going to move that much. But it is a good indicator if you're eating too much or not enough. I obviously don't want to be gaining weight right now, but I also don't want to be dropping weight too fast for that matter either. I feel like as easy it is to overeat, it can also be easy to starve yourself, and that's not the goal here. I'm trying to lose weight gradually, because if I'm losing weight rapidly, that's probably muscle I'm losing too. I'm not trying to lose muscle here, bro. Okay, now let's talk about calories. I was eating somewhere between 2,800 or 3,000 calories on the bulk, which I actually found to be a bit much because I gained more fat than I wanted, so I think next bulk we will refine. But after some calculations and algorithms, my maintenance should be around 2,400 calories or so. At my weight and height, that kind of makes sense. I mean, I'm a small dude. I'm only 5'7". I don't have to eat 3,000 calories to maintain my weight. So I just dropped the calories by 200, which means I'm going to be eating around 2,200. I've been eating around 2,250 even, so kind of makes sense why I haven't lost as much weight. But this next month, I'm really going to take my calories into consideration and actually make sure that I'm eating around 2,200 or even maybe 2,150. I'm also going to be like experimenting with some of my foods, but that's going to come later in the optimization section. But basically, the goal is to lose as much fat as possible in the next 4 to 6 months. I mean, it's a cut. That's what cuts are. Ideally, we could reach like 12% body fat even, but I would say right now, I'm probably hovering around 20, maybe even 22%. I know it's an ambitious goal, but that's why I gave myself such a long time frame. But another thing is I don't have like body measurements or anything. I'm basically just going purely off what I see in the mirror. So fuck it. We'll just use these videos to see if I'm losing fat or not. That's one of the beautiful things of recording your progress, especially in a series like this one. So it's not hard to see if my body is moving in the right direction because I have these videos as proof. Okay, so I think this Wario setup is kind of off-putting, and also I'm kind of look like I'm in heaven right now with this really bright window right here. So let's go back to the usual setup. Okay, so let's talk about optimization, because I think optimization is incredibly important, because you can't just be doing the same thing that worked yesterday because it won't work today. Depending on your fitness goals, you're gonna have to keep optimizing, and I'm no dietitian or anything, you know, I'm not claiming to be one, so take what I say with a grain of salt. And not only that, but if there's something stupid I'm doing that's probably hindering my progress, let me know. I don't want to just be thinking that I'm doing the right thing when I'm in reality I'm actually hurting myself. Please tell me. So yeah, if there's anything that's keeping me fat, fucking tell me, because I don't want to be fat anymore. So the first thing that I want to talk about is improving my diet in general and just trying to get more protein in. Before, I didn't really eat lentils because it's a really filling food with very little calories, and that's a cutting dream. It's also a bulking nightmare, which is why I didn't eat it, but lentils are like a staple food now. I mean, I've always eaten chicken breast. That's nothing that's changed, because with a 200-gram chicken breast, you can get like 40 to 50 grams of protein. So of course I'm eating one of those every single day. But lentils aside, I want to talk about my dairy consumption, because as you know, I love coffee. I even made a whole video on it because I love coffee so much. But the thing is that I like lattes, and lattes are a lot of milk. So I tried using cream instead of milk, and you know what? I didn't like it. It was more fat, which means less protein. And because of that, it was like a little bit less calories. Like it was probably 20 or 30 calories less, but the taste wasn't there. It wasn't as enjoyable. I'm losing out on my protein, which is super important when you're cutting, and it just wasn't worth it. So I switched back to my good old Fairlife milk, because with the extra 20 or 30 calories that I'm getting with the Fairlife milk instead of cream, I'm getting 14 grams of protein. That is amazing. Like, what the hell was I thinking before? All right, so next up is I started adding collagen to my diet. Now, besides the skin and bone and joint health and everything that it adds, it also has protein in it. I didn't even know this until I started looking into it. Now, collagen is like a buzzword in the fitness industry, and the thing is, I couldn't tell you much about how good it actually is, but I'll tell you one thing. Look at these macros. Like, bro, 40 calories, 10 grams of protein, and there's literally nothing else in there. It's pure protein. That's gold. Now, I'm not sure about the quality of the protein. I mean, it is animal-based and dairy-based or whatever. I mean, it's bovine. It's basically cow bones. And for the vegans out there, so sorry, but that shit is too good to pass up on. And last up, I want to talk about cardio as a means of stimulating fat loss. I'm just doing a brisk walk for my cardio because, you know, cardio is good. Not only that, but it just improves overall health. I've been reading about zone 2 cardio and all that shit, and honestly, I know the science is there, but I just haven't looked into it that much. I'm someone who's more of just do it and then read about it as I'm doing it, and sometimes I don't even do that, but with cardio, I mean, I don't really need to read much about it. Cardio's badass, and if you're not doing it, just do it. But I was someone who did a ton of cardio when I started my fitness journey way back in 2020, because as you know, I started with a P90X, and P90X is a lot of cardio. I was actually in really good shape, but the problem is I had no muscle, and I'm kind of focused on muscle building right now. So as you can tell, cardio kind of takes a back seat when you're into really heavy weightlifting, and that's not good. But thanks to my good old boy Sam Sulik, cardio's back on the menu, baby. One thing to remember is that this whole thing, I mean, it's a fitness journey. It's not like a sprint. It's a marathon. I want to be in general healthy, and longevity is the #1 thing in the end. Now, maybe I won't balloon up to like a giant roided out freak or something, and I probably won't unless I take roids. And even then, maybe my genetics just aren't there, but so what? As long as you push yourself to your genetic ceiling, I would say, and you actually take care of your health so that you can live until 60 and you can still push weights in the gym, that's a win in my eyes. That's the #1 reason why I haven't resorted to gear. I want to still be lifting weights and doing cardio when I'm 60 in an ideal world, so this is how I make sure it's possible. I could always just start eating Trenbolone sandwiches and continuing my weightlifting journey and balloon up to this huge guy, but then I probably won't see my 40th birthday. Alright, so I won't be doing a lift today because this video is very long, and I know I said I was going to do a lift last time this time, and a lift will come eventually. I do want to show you guys my leg day because leg day is pretty interesting with the home gym. I hope you enjoyed episode 4 of this series, and though I'm still not entirely sure how to structure these videos fully yet, I'll only learn by uploading more. So guess what? You're a real G for sticking out to the end, and I love you. So this is the deal. I'm kind of sick right now. Maybe people will call me crazy for trying to work out in the first place, but the thing is, I don't like taking days off.